Hi everyone, welcome back to Python Fundamental series. In the previous video, we studied about strings and we saw how we can perform different operations like indexing, slicing, and functions like count, length, all of that we studied and how we can perform all of that operations on the strings. So today, let's continue with a new topic, list. So let's start with a interesting question. Let's say at the beginning in our academy, we have only one student, Rahul. Okay. And then after a month, after 1 month, two new students joined. Okay. Now, let's say the academy become popular, and after 6 months, we now have 100 students in our academy. And after 12 months, taking it more further, we have 500 students. Okay. So let's say we have 500 students at the end of the first year. So if you see, as the organization grew, we have more and more students. So initial level, we have one variable, student name, under which we were storing the information of Rahul. So let's say when we have 500 students, is it a practical or feasible way to store information with the same format like student 1, Rahul, student 2, Ajay, student 3, Tanya, and create 500 variables? Absolutely not. We won't be doing that. Python actually provides us a better solution, which is way more cleaner and way more practical. That is called list. So list is nothing but collection that allows us to store multiple values, okay, inside it. So list is nothing but a collection. And what is the advantage that we get with the list? Easy to code, easy to update, easy to maintain. So let's say we have 500 variables and we are trying to update the value. It will be very difficult for 500 students. Let's say we are trying to maintain that 500 variables. So with the list, all is very smooth and it is very easy for us to maintain all of that. Okay. So let's go to the VS Code and now start coding. So in a practical way, we can understand how to create a list, how to perform different operations on the list. So day 4, we have list dot ipy and b. Okay. So I have created our first list of students and notice the square brackets. So I have created the list and have all the elements inserted into it. If I select this, okay. So now in Python, a list is represented by these square brackets and all the values are separated by this comma. So instead of creating four variables, we simply created one variable named students, and through which students we can store all the four values. Okay. Now if we have to check the data type for this, we will make use of simple type statement, type function, students. Okay. Python will tell us that this is a list data type. Okay. Now let's perform indexing operation on the list. Okay. So let's say I want the first element from the list. So I will make the index 0. Okay. So it will print Rahul. Similar way, if I need the third element in the list. So remember, the index counting starts from 0. So it will be 0, 1, and 2. So it will be second index. Aman will be printed. And similar way, we can also have the negative indexing, as in the string it was working. The concept is similar. -1, and we can fetch the last value. Yeah. Okay. Moving to the next concept, slicing. So we can retrieve the part of list using slicing. The similar concept was in the strings too. We were pulling using the start index colon end index plus one. Remember, end index was not inclusive. Start index is inclusive. So we will be using the same thing. Print students and let's say 0 to 2. So it will pull two elements, 0 and 1. 2 is not inclusive. Okay. So Rahul and Ajay is printed. If you see here, Rahul and Ajay is printed. Aman is not, because the index 2 is not inclusive in this one. Now coming to the one more thing, the reverse of the list. So same we can do as we did it in strings using the step size -1. If we set the step size to -1, it will reverse the string. Neha came at the first, Rahul came at the last position. Okay. Now let's say these are all the operation on the existing list. Let's say our academy grew and we are at a position where new student has joined the organization academy. So how we can append that thing? So there will be a function named append. Okay. Let's say Karan is the one who joined the academy. So simply dot append and whatever value we want to append to the existing list. Okay. Print and students. So here you can see. So basically append always adds the element at the end. Okay. So we don't have to recreate the whole list again and again and again. We can simply reuse the same list by adding the new values into it. Okay. Python also provides another function named dot insert, in which we can mention the index. Append will always be inserting at the end, But let's say we want to insert the value at particular position. Now here if I go insert, mention the index at which you want to append the value. Let's say after Rahul at the first index, I want to insert a new value Ria. Okay. And I will also print to display the output. Okay. So here you can see Ria is added at the first index. Through append, that is not possible because we cannot mention the index over there at which index we want. It will always append at the end. So if there is any requirement where we have to insert at particular index, then we can use this dot insert method. Okay. And now going further with extend. So sometimes multiple students join together, and instead of appending again and again, let's say two students join together, Aryan and Vivek. So I have to write dot append twice to append them, but there is a better option that we can use. So student dot extend is the method, and here simply I can write in the form of a list Aryan and Vivek. Okay. And now if I print, you can see in the single statement, I have appended multiple values. Students. Okay. So here you can see Aryan and Vivek added at the end. If I have to perform the same operation using append, it will take two statements. So there is this benefit with the extend. Okay. Now this all operations allows us to add the new element. Let's say we want to remove the element. So there are two methods, dot remove and dot pop. Let's look one by one. So if we go students dot remove, okay, and I want to remove, let's say Ria, okay, and I will also print the output to the console so we can see the changes in the students list. So let's say Ria left the academy and we have removed her name from the existing list. So simply we have to mention and that will remove the name. Okay. And coming to the other method, pop method. So students dot pop. So pop will always remove the last element from the list. Okay. It is useful when we simply want to remove the most recently added element. We don't know the particular that element, but we want that the last element should be recently added value should be removed. So we can display the updated list. So here if you see Vivek is removed. If I run it again, Aryan will be removed. So recently we added Aryan and Vivek. So if we run first, it will remove Vivek, then it will remove Aryan in that way. Okay. So these two were the remove operations. Now let's say we want to perform a search operation. So I want to see at which index or at which position Aman is on the list. So there is method append.index and Aman. I will mention and I will also print that. Okay. So Aman is present at the second index 0, 1 and 2. So it is very useful whenever we want to find a particular element and know the index of that. Okay. So it will return the position. And let's say we want how many times a particular element exists in the list. Right now, every element is only once. So let me append a similar element. Let's say I am adding Aman only. Okay, and I print it. So if you see now, Aman is twice. So if I want to count how many times a particular element exists in the list, so we can use this count function. Okay, and what we want to count? We want to count Aman. So here you can see the output 2 because Aman is twice in the list. Let's say if I ask for the count of Neha, it will be 1 because Neha is only once in the list. Okay. So apart from this, Python also provide a flexibility where we can fetch the maximum, minimum, or the sum of the numeric values if the list has the numeric values in it. So let's say marks is equal to 78, 65, 99, and 29. Okay, so this is marks list. And if I want to print max value, print minimum value, and sum of all the values present in the marks list. So all this is possible. Here you can see the maximum marks are 99, minimum is 29, and the sum of all the values is 271. So these operations are simply possible with the list. Okay. Now also we can sort the list. Let's say we want to sort the marks in the ascending order. So it's very simple. Marks dot sort function, and then we will print marks. Okay. So now you can see 29, 65, it is set in the ascending order. Okay. Also, we can measure the number of elements present in the list. So we don't have to manually count that. So print length of len is the function of students. I want to count how many students are there in my academy. So there are 6 students. So it is quite straightforward with this function. Okay. Now let's move to the copy function, dot copy function. So we have, let's say I created student 1 and I simply assigned the existing list to this one. And also I created students underscore 2, and I, instead of directly copying, I use the copy function. Okay. So in this one, if I run this and let's say I print the output of all the 3 list students, students underscore 1, students underscore 2. Okay. If I print right now, it will be all similar. Now let's say I made the change to the original list. Students equal to, or students dot append. Let's say I added a new student Rohit to the list, the original list. Okay. And now if I run the operations, the display the list again basically. So you can now see the change. The list that was created by direct assignment also reflects the changes. Although we added to the main list, not the copy one, but still whatever changes we are making to the original list, that will be reflected automatically in underscore one. But underscore two is not reflecting that changes because we have used the copy function. So if we have a requirement that we don't want to make changes to our list, even if the original list is manipulated or changes are done to that list, in that scenarios we will use the dot copy function. Okay, now we have one more function, that is dot clear. Okay, and let me print that one output. So it will make the list blank, it will make it empty, so whatever elements are there, it will drop it altogether. Okay, so this is it. We have understood how we can add the elements to the list, how we can update it, remove, and if we have to add multiple elements we can use extend function. If we have to add at particular index we can use the insert function. All of that we understood using different things. And one more thing, yeah, we can also have different data types also under the list. It's not necessary that we have the one data type. Okay, let's say I store the name, I store the age, I store uh what we can say city. Okay, and if status, if the student is present or not. And if I print it, so just I'm trying to show you that the collection can be of different data types too in the single list. It's not necessary that we have only a similar data type collection. Okay, so just to recap what we studied today, starting we understood why list is necessary, what is list, what are the advantages of the list. Then we started with creating the list. We verified the data type of the created list. Then we performed indexing, reverse indexing, slicing. Then we went to add the values using append, insert, extend. All these three functions were used to add the values to the existing list. Then we also saw remove and pop function that will help us to remove the values from the existing list. We made use of dot index function and dot count function, index function for fetching the index or the position of the particular element, and count function to count the occurrences of a particular value. For that we used, and min max some functions are used whenever we want to find out the maximum, minimum, or the summation of the numeric value. We also have sort function where we can sort the values in the ascending order, and we saw the difference of copy, dot copy, and direct assignment of a list. And at last we use the clear function. So all these methods that we saw in the list are important building blocks for any project or any real world application. Okay, they are not just disconnected topics, they will be very useful whenever we are working in a real life operations, because list is a very popular data type. So now we know how to store the multiple values in a single variable, and we do not require multiple variables to store multiple student data for our student management project. Okay, so that is it for this video. If you like the playlist, keep watching. Thank you and have a nice day.